the release of Superman, the new and shiny DCU is now in full swing. I've heard people describe the film as a live-action version of Superman the Animated Series, and you know what? That was enough for me to cover this film on Channel Frederator. James Gunn's taken inspiration from all sorts of Superman media, so let's dissect the film just a bit with 107 facts about Superman. Look up. Number 1. This all begins with James Gunn being offered to direct Superman way back in 2018. He rejected the offer back then for a multitude of reasons. For one, he was daunted with the task of handling the character and wasn't sure how to even do it, while also citing the other things that were happening with Superman at the time. Number 2. Of course, we know he did eventually direct a DC film, The Suicide Squad, in 2021. He said that he was more familiar with Suicide Squad compared to Superman, and that it was a familiar type of group, so he chose that over Superman. Number 3. Even though he had rejected Superman, the idea of a Superman movie was constantly on Gunn's mind. Gunn's mentioned that ever since then he would keep thinking about it, how he would do it, what it would be like, and would it even work in today's audiences, until eventually he convinced himself that it was something he could actually do. Number 4. Things definitely shifted in his mind. In the summer of 2022, Warner Bros. Co-CEO Michael DeLuca approached Gunn and asked if he was interested in working on a Superman film. Unlike last time, Gunn immediately said yes, thus paving the path towards Superman 2025. Number 5. On his Threads account, while responding to fans, Gunn revealed that he was originally brought on to work on a Superman film that wasn't a sequel to Man of Steel or even part of the DCEU. Think of how the Batman or Joker don't follow established DCEU lore and continuity. According to him, it was always separate. Number 6. Not only was James Gunn working on Superman, he was hard at work cooking up something big for DC as well. In late 2022, it was announced that Gunn, along with Peter Safran, were co-chairs and co-CEOs of the newly christened DC Studios. Number 7. In January 2023, James Gunn and Peter Safran unveiled the first slate of films for Chapter 1 of the newly christened DC Universe. Titled Gods and Monsters, the chapter would include films such as Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Swamp Thing, and The Authority, alongside a multitude of television series. While the animated TV series Creature Commandos jump-started the DCU, the films would kick off on July 11, 2025 with Superman, originally announced as Superman Legacy. Number 8. While it was known that Gunn was working on Superman Legacy, mainly as the writer, it wasn't until March 2023 that Gunn confirmed that he was also directing the film. It was thanks to his cohort, Peter Safran, amongst other people constantly pestering him, that Gunn eventually committed to directing. Number 9. On the same day Gunn announced that he was directing Superman, he also revealed that his brother, Matt Gunn, started to cry when he saw the release date for the film. Gunn had to ask why, and his brother mentioned that it was the same exact day as the birthday of their dad, who they had lost a few years prior. Number 10. On April 2023, while still searching for his lead actor, Gunn mentioned to outlets that he was looking for a Superman that had the kindness and compassion that Superman has, and somebody you want to give a hug. Number 11. It was in the next month that audition tapes for several characters were submitted, May 2023 to be exact, and Gunn started watching later that same month to see who he could narrow down. Number 12. During the casting process for Superman Legacy, around 30 actors were considered to play Clark Kent, including David Corenswet, Tom Brittney, Andrew Richardson, and Nicholas Hoult. Actors like Patrick Schwarzenegger, Pearson Fody, and Jack Quaid also submitted self-tapes for Superman, but didn't progress to the screen test stage. Meanwhile, Jacob Elordi, who was also considered for the role, didn't even read the script, saying that it was too dark for him. Which is funny because I feel like the things Jacob Elordi's been in is way darker than Superman. So funny thinking about it in retrospect. Number 13. On the Lois Lane side of things, several actresses read for the role, with the final few being actresses Emma Mackey, Rachel Brosnahan, and Phoebe Dynevor. They were all selected to participate in the mid-June 2023 screen test for the Lois Lane role, with each actress paired with the actor auditioning for Superman. David Corenswet ultimately won the role of Clark Kent and Superman, while Rachel Brosnahan was cast as Lois Lane. Number 14. Nicholas Hoult, initially considered for Superman, pivoted to audition for Lex Luthor and was later cast in that role. Funny enough, Hoult also auditioned for the role of Bruce Wayne in Matt Reeves' The Batman, but was only the runner-up for the role, which ultimately went to Robert Pattinson. I read this somewhere on Reddit or Twitter, but they said that casting the runner-up for Clark Kent as the actor for Lex Luthor is both devious and genius, and I think that statement is so true. Who better to be Superman's ultimate hater than the person who almost got the role for Superman? Number 15. Gunn announced that principal photography had begun on February 29th, 2024, which, coincidentally, is also Superman's birthday. Number 16. Alongside the announcement for filming, Gunn also confirmed that the title for the film, initially called Superman Legacy, was being simplified to Superman. Gunn had originally given the film the name Superman Legacy, but was always unsure about it, saying he was sick of the superhero title other name thing. He also pointed out that Legacy meant looking back, even though this film was a marker of looking forward, to the DCU, I'm assuming. Number 17. During his screen test, David Corenswet wore Henry Cavill's Superman suit, continuing a tradition that even Cavill did, donning Christopher Reeves's. But fast forward, and the first time Corenswet put on his own costume, it wasn't a magical transformation, according to him. It was wonderfully mundane. Still, the costume was still unfinished and a bit snug as he bulked up for the role, and over time, the suit was tailored to fit him and eventually felt like home to him. Number 18. For the story itself, Gunn says that it isn't just another origin story like countless other Superman projects. The film itself does look into the legacy portion of Superman, and Gunn doesn't deny that the film is about legacy, but instead of starting in Kansas, David Corenswet's Superman learns lessons from his Kryptonian origins and his upbringing in Kansas. Number 19. Let's actually get into the film. I'll sprinkle in some facts here and there about the production, but let's talk about the film. Superman brings us right into the action and features an opening crawl, or as some people described it, PowerPoint presentation that gives us a bit of context to the world. Like we had mentioned, there is no origin story. In fact, it's revealed in the opening crawl that superheroes, or rather metahumans, have existed for at least 300 years in the DCU. Number 20. Corenswet's Superman is at least 30 years old, as the opening crawl confirms that he arrived on Earth 3 decades prior to the film. Number 21. In the DCU, we learn that Superman was defeated for the first time ever, a few moments before the film starts actually, during a battle with the Hammer of Baravia, an original character created by James Gunn for this film. Of course, we eventually learn who this character really is, but I won't mention it this early in the video. Number 22. Baravia is a fictional country first introduced in Superman number 2, way back in 1939, so it's nice seeing some really old throwbacks in this film. Number 23. One of the first characters we see is Krypto, who helps Superman reach his Fortress of Solitude. Gunn says Krypto is based off of his dog, Ozu, who was adopted shortly after Gunn started writing Superman. Krypto was 3D modeled after Ozu and then made white to match how Krypto looked in the comics. Additionally, when creating Krypto, Gunn even asked himself, how difficult would life be if Ozu had superpowers? And thus, the Krypto of Superman 2025 was born. Number 24. The creation of the Fortress of Solitude is a story in and of itself. Production designer Beth Mickle, who worked with Gunn in the past on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, spent 6 months designing Superman's fortress, and then another 16 weeks on set building it. Mickle and crew built 242 giant crystals out of resin, which, yes, they are real crystals, saying that it was cheaper than a CGI set. She says that the only use of CGI was to create the moment of the fortress rising from the ice. Number 25. The Fortress of Solitude in Superman was inspired by the original Richard Donner Superman films. Mickle told Variety that they were paying homage to Richard Donner's films, where the fortress's crystalline structure would grow out of the ground. Number 26. The Superman robots, who are seen in the Fortress of Solitude, also take inspiration from their past depiction in All-Star Superman, as well as several other Superman media. Number 27. Speaking of All-Star Superman, David Corenswet drew inspiration for his performance from several different sources, one of them being the All-Star Superman comic. Other key inspirations include Christopher Reeves's performance and how he would change his posture for Clark Kent and Superman, as well as his brother-in-law, who Corenswet describes as 6'8" and 270 pounds, but is the quietest, most wonderful man. Let me know in the comments if you can see these inspirations in his performance. Number 28. The Superman robots are voiced by a multitude of big-time actors and constant collaborators of Gunn's, such as Alan Tudyk, Grace Chan, Michael Rooker, Pom Klementieff, and Gunn's wife Jennifer Holland, who doesn't get credited. They voice Superman robots 4, 12, 1, and 5 respectively, while Holland is uncredited. Number 29. In these same early scenes at the Fortress of Solitude is when we're shown a recorded hologram message and are introduced to the DCU versions of Superman's Kryptonian parents. Actor Bradley Cooper plays Superman's father, Jor-El. Cooper, of course, worked with James Gunn as the voice of Rocket Raccoon in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Meanwhile, Angela Sarafian portrays Lara Lorvan, Superman's mother. Number 30. For Jor-El, Gunn told Entertainment Tonight that he was looking for an actor of Marlon Brando's magnitude, the legendary Brando having played Jor-El in the past. He wanted someone to walk in Brando's footsteps and eventually made the call to Bradley Cooper, who simply replied, "Okay." Gunn says that Cooper's really just doing him a favor. Number 31. Another homage to Richard Donner's Superman film can be seen in the opening title. The font of the Superman name and logo are very reminiscent of the opening sequence for 1978's Superman the movie. Number 32. Continuing the homages to the 1978 film is the iconic John Williams Superman theme, which returns for this film, albeit remixed a little bit. We first heard the theme used in various trailers leading up to the film's release, so we already knew that it was coming back, but in the film, the motif is used in a variety of ways. Very subtle. Number 33. Stephen Blackheart, a good friend of Gunn's and a recurring actor in many of Gunn's projects, such as Guardians of the Galaxy, The Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker, plays Sidney Happerson, one of Lex Luthor's lackeys. Number 34. Lex's command center is packed with background characters pulled from the DC Comics lore. We don't get their names in the film, but the credits reveal them as Amanda McCoy, Cheryl Kimball, and Larry Chin. Also appearing are Dean and Desmond Farr, two obscure characters who first debuted in Tales of the Unexpected, number 90. Number 35. Joining Lex are Eve Teschmacher and Otis Berg, played by Sarah Sampaio and Terrence Rosemore respectively, and they are characters who first appeared in 1978's Superman the movie. Number 36. The surname Berg is a reference to a joke from the 1978 film, where Otis and Lex discussed naming land. This last name was also used for Otis in the Smallville Season 11 comic series. Number 37. You might notice that Lex Luthor's company isn't called LexCorp, instead going for Luthor Corp. In an interview, Gunn explained it was for multiple reasons, saying that, quote, "I'm a Smallville fan. Most people don't name their companies after their first name, plus it leaves the door open for his father or even his mother to be part of it." Number 38. The battle suits worn by Luthor Corp's Raptor soldiers are based on the Raptor suits first introduced in Nightwing number 25 from 2006. For the film, their color scheme was redesigned to resemble Lex Luthor's signature green and purple war suit that originally debuted in Action Comics number 544. Number 39. There's another nod to the CW series Smallville. Michael Rosenbaum, who played a young Lex Luthor in the show, voices one of the Raptors. Number 40. From one Lex Luthor to another, while in an interview with Michael Rosenbaum, Holt told Rosenbaum that Rosenbaum's Lex was his first and favorite Lex. During that interview, Holt also asked and learned from Rosenbaum's experience as playing Lex. Honestly, go listen to the interview because it's a wonderful listen and it really shows how much an actor can learn from a predecessor, especially when playing the same role, and what they take out of that interview. Number 41. Ultraman is one of Luthor's strongest enforcers and lackeys, rivaling Superman's power. And while his true identity is different in this version of the DC universe, which we'll talk about later, the Ultraman name is associated with the evil version of Superman from another Earth, who was first introduced in 1964's Justice League of America number 29. According to an official DC blog rounding up several Easter eggs and references found in the film, Ultraman is one character that James Gunn seems to have taken the most liberty when adapting. Number 42. The Authority film might be coming sometime in the near future, but that isn't stopping Gunn and company from planting the seeds for it. In the film, Engineer, who works with Luthor, is given powers by nanites infused into her bloodstream by Luthor, which matches her origin story in the comics, except without Luthor. Number 43. Shifting over to the Daily Planet, Editor-in-Chief Perry White says that he hates it when Jimmy Olsen calls him Chief. This is a running gag from the comics brought to the big screen. Number 44. In the background of one of the scenes in the Daily Planet, you can see Michael and James Larson, the grandsons of Superman co-creator Jerry Siegel. Number 45. Frank Grillo returns to the DCU as Rick Flag Sr., having made his DCU debut in Creature Commandos. It's already confirmed that Flag will have a role in Peacemaker Season 2, so it's no question that we'll be seeing more of him in the future. Number 46. At Lois's apartment, there's a reference to Park Ridge, which is one of the 6 boroughs in Metropolis and was first introduced in Adventures of Superman number 447. Number 47. When Lois interviews Clark as Superman, you'll notice that his voice shifts, subtly going from the lighthearted Clark Kent voice to the deeper, more serious tone of Superman. If you remember who Corin Sweat was inspired by, you can see that he may have adopted this subtle cue from Christopher Reeve's take on Superman. Number 48. During the interview, he calls Lois Lane Cronkite. Cronkite references Walter Cronkite, an American broadcast journalist who anchored the CBS Evening News from 1962 to 1981 and was often cited during the 1960s and 70s as the most trusted man in America. Number 49. The country of Jarhanpur, mentioned in the opening crawl and during Lois's interview with Superman, originates from the JLA comics, debuting in issue number 62. Number 50. If you look in the background during the interview scene, you can see a framed newspaper that talks about Stag Informants. Stag Industries is a tech company from the comics, and in the DCU, they're back, and behind the creation of Metamorpho. Number 51. Lois questioning Superman over his interference between Boravia and Jarhanpur is a topic taken straight out of the comics. It revolves around how much Superman should involve himself in geopolitical affairs. Number 52. Offering Ultraman and the Engineer's services to the government along with his Raptor soldiers, Lex Luthor proposes a new team known as Planet Watch, which, according to the DC blog, seems like a reference to the Wildstorm comic team Stormwatch, a team that the Engineer was a part of. Number 53. During the Kaiju battle, you can see that various streets are named after notable Superman creators. There's Dan Jurgens, Alex Ross, and Mark Waid, and there are bound to be more. Number 54. The Kaiju battle sequence also features a ton of billboards in Metropolis that include a slew of references to brands in DC. The brand Jitters can be seen, and Jitters is a coffee chain found in several pieces of DC media, including CW's The Flash and Peacemaker. Big Belly Burger is a fast food chain from the comics, and it makes an appearance as a billboard as well. The on-site location of Big Belly Burger was actually spotted in Cleveland during the filming of Superman. Another billboard shows off Zesty Cola, which is a popular soda brand in DC. Likewise, the competitor brand Soda Cola gets advertised via billboard as well. Even DC's equivalent to Oreos, Chocos, are advertised in one of the billboards. Number 60. In one of the massive monitor billboards, we can see GBS, or the Galactic Broadcasting System, which is a major news network that we've seen in the comics, video games, and DC Extended Universe films. Number 61. Various news outlets recap the day's events, including one that brings CNN anchor Jake Tapper in for a cameo to play Jake Tapir, who was previously seen in Creature Commandos. Number 62. There's another more Superman-adjacent cameo with the appearance of Will Reeve, Christopher Reeves' son, playing a news reporter, which mirrors his real-life job as a news correspondent for ABC News. Number 63. Will Reeve actually interviewed Corn Sweat about his experience playing Superman and everything surrounding people's opinions about the character of Superman. It's a full-circle moment that connects Corn Sweat with the Reeve family. Number 64. Towards the end of the Kaiju battle, a trio of corporate-sponsored superheroes are sent by Lord Tech. If you're familiar with Lord Tech from the comics, then you know that they're a tech and research corporation founded and operated by Maxwell Lord, often connected with metahumans and not always in the most positive way. Number 65. Who is this trio of superheroes? Well, they're the Justice Gang, consisting of Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific. The name itself is supposedly temporary, hinting at the possibility of it transforming into the Justice League in the future. Number 66. Nathan Fillion takes on the role of Green Lantern's Guy Gardner in Superman, marking his live-action DC debut after voicing Hal Jordan in animated Green Lantern productions. He's also known for playing Mal Reynolds in Firefly, TDK in The Suicide Squad, and Master Karja in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Number 67. Hawkgirl is portrayed by Isabella Merced, known for her work in Nickelodeon's 100 Things to Do Before High School, the live-action Dora the Explorer, Anya Corazon in Madam Web, and more recently as Dina in HBO's The Last of Us. Number 68. Eddie Gathegi plays Mr. Terrific, a genius inventor outfitted with advanced tech. He previously gained attention in supporting roles in films like X-Men First Class and The Blacklist. Personally, I think this film redeems him from his roles in X-Men First Class, which have been memed beyond existence, plus he's terrific in this. Number 69. While we're at it, let me get ahead of myself a bit. The Justice Gang headquarters is the Hall of Justice, which is also known as the headquarters of the Justice League, which definitely supports that theory that they'll eventually become them. Number 70. And since we're already talking about the Hall of Justice, inside you can see a mural of several heroes in the DC Universe's past. It's a good way of showing the history of heroes in this continuity, honoring the legacy of the metahumans. Some say the mural is a clear tease that the Justice Society of America existed in the DCU prior to the Justice Gang. Number 71. While we all wait for the high-quality version of the mural, fans seem to agree that the mural features Adam Strange, Freedom Beast, Madame Xanadu, Silent Knight, Black Pirate, Flash, Atomic Knight, Wildcat, and Vibe. Number 72. The filming location for the Hall of Justice is Union Terminal in Cincinnati. This location is what inspired the design of the Hall of Justice scene in Super Friends, which is a full circle moment for that one as well. Number 73. The message that Jor-El and Lara, urging their son to rule Earth and repopulate it with his harem, is a surprising twist, but not something we haven't seen before. The concept has been explored in the past with the Elseworlds comics, Smallville, and even the animated series My Adventures with Superman. Number 74. In passing, Guy mentions the Green Lantern Corps, confirming the existence of the wider network of lanterns at this point in time. Of course, we know that Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are planned to appear in the Lantern series in 2026, but it's nice hearing that we don't need any origin story to know that lanterns are around. Number 75. During the montage of newscasters reporting on Superman's true purpose on Earth, there's a network called 52, which is a reference to DC's New 52 publishing initiative. You know, the one where they basically rebooted it with 52 new comics? And if you don't know what that is, it's basically back in 2011, DC made a point to just basically reboot 52 new comics. Number 76. Also in the montage is John Cena's Peacemaker making a cameo in an interview about Superman. You can tell there's a little tension in the air when he says that Superman always thinks he's better than everyone else. But you know, it's actually nice seeing Peacemaker in the DCU after, you know, James Gunn confirmed that Season 2 will be part of the DCU, after people kept questioning if Season 1 was even part of the DCU. Now we know that Peacemaker is actually in the DCU. Number 77. The network that Peacemaker ends up on is The Sphere, a news network that airs in Metropolis and is a recent addition to the DC media landscape. Number 78. Lois actually confirms she's from Bakerline, a known Metropolis borough, one of the 6 boroughs of Metropolis in the comics. It's also where Jimmy Olsen and his family are from. Number 79. Looking at one of the Daily Planet computers, you can see a picture of Lex that's striking a pose similar to that of the Lex Luthor the unauthorized biography cover. Number 80. Rex Mason is called both the Element Man and Metamorpho at different points in the film, which is not unlike his comic book counterpart who has multiple aliases, including the Element Man and Metamorpho. Number 81. Lex Luthor's army of monkey drones designed to spread constant negativity about Superman on social media feels like a meta-commentary on the more vocal and toxic parts of the DC fandom, the ones that are hardcore defenders of the Snyderverse, and based off of tweets I've seen online, they are not very happy about that. I mean, what can you do? This also feels perfect for what Lex would do. He's that petty. He would use monkey bots to hashtag Superman super harem or super shit. So funny. Number 82. Metropolis is home to the Metropolis Meteors, the city's professional baseball team in the DCU, adapted straight from the comics. Number 83. Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio serves as the filming location for Lord Tech Field, the site of a battle between Superman and Lex Luthor's minions, Ultraman and the Engineer, and also the home field of the Meteors. Number 84. Guy Gardner confirms that Superman's glasses subtly hypnotizes people to forget what his face fully looks like, preventing the connection that he's Superman. This was actually seen in 1978 Superman number 330 when we find out that Clark's glasses were made from the glass of his rocket ship and that it had special properties that allowed him to hypnotize people. Number 85. The disturbing-looking all-white humanoid driving the platform in Luthor's Pocket universe is Mr. Handsome, except this differs from the Mr. Handsome in the comics. According to James Gunn, this Mr. Handsome was created in a petri dish by Luthor to do his bidding. Number 86. When we visit Clark's old room back in Smallville, we can spot the flag for the Smallville Giants, the local high school football team in the comics. Number 87. Hanging in Clark's old room is a poster for the Mighty Crabjoys, which is the in-universe band that Clark mentions he's a fan of when talking to Lois earlier in the film. Number 88. Amongst Eve's selfies revealing Luthor's plans is a map, and on that map you can spot another country, Markovia, the home country of Geoforce and Terra. Number 89. Metamorpho, now released, can be seen watching TV next to a woman played by Louisa Krause. That is his wife from the comics, Sapphire Stagg, daughter of Simon Stagg, who owns Stagg Industries, who created Metamorpho. Number 90. In the scene where citizens start to evacuate Metropolis, you can see a highway sign pointing towards Gotham City. The two cities, Metropolis and Gotham City, are often portrayed as being close to one another, so this just does a little bit of world building without distracting it from the film. Number 91. Additionally, the sign next to the Gotham City sign is for Queensland Park, another one of the 6 boroughs of Metropolis. Number 92. Since we're still talking about locations, license plates on several vehicles feature the Delaware state plate, meaning that the DCU confirms that Metropolis is indeed in Delaware. Additionally, the Delaware state flag can be seen flying around some scenes. Number 93. Lex's technicians confirm that Superman can normally hold his breath for about an hour in the DCU, but fans know that in the comics, Supes can hold his breath for much, much longer, days even if needed. Number 94. Major spoiler alert, okay? If you don't want to hear this, skip this one. Ultraman is revealed to be a clone of Superman, created by Lex Luthor. Although this version of Ultraman seems to blend traits of comic book Ultraman and Bizarro, he is also played by Corn Sweat. Number 95. Maxwell Lord is played by Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, and a frequent collaborator and actor for James Gunn's films, appearing in Guardians of the Galaxy, The Suicide Squad, and more. He's already confirmed to return for Peacemaker Season 2. Number 96. During the film's third and final act, Lois is seen wearing a purple top, which seems to be a visual reference to her character's design in Superman the Animated Series. Number 97. In the last few minutes of the film, after the day is saved, Superman and Lois share a lovely floating kiss. Well, unfortunately, the people of India might not have seen this moment amongst other kiss scenes as it was censored in the country. Number 98. It's confirmed that Luthor is set to serve his sentence at Belle Reve, the same prison that was run by Amanda Waller. Number 99. Early in the film, Superman reveals he's only fostering Krypto, hinting that the Super Pup doesn't belong to him. Towards the end of the film, we see that he actually belongs to his cousin Kara Zor-El, or Supergirl, who has come to pick Krypto up. This scene means that Supergirl has officially made her DCU debut, played by Millie Alcock of House of the Dragon fame. We'll see more of her in 2026. Number 100. The Teddy Bears and Iggy Pop's Punk Rocker plays during Superman's credits, which is a callback to Superman's music taste during his conversation with Lois because, you know, he likes punk. I like punk, even though Lois thinks it's more pop. Number 101. Another theme that plays is the Mighty Crabjoys theme. This is obviously the fictional in-universe band that was first seen in Creature Commandos, and will also be featured in Peacemaker Season 2. Number 102. Similar to the opening title sequence, the credits are also styled like Donner's Superman movies. Number 103. If you're wondering if there are scenes after the credits, well, I'm glad to inform you that there are, in fact, 2 scenes. They are both very unserious and don't necessarily hint at much in terms of the future of the DCU. The first scene, which is a mid-credits scene, has Superman and Krypto gazing at planet Earth from the moon. The second scene, which takes place after the credits, has Superman criticizing Mr. Terrific's work of putting Metropolis back together and calling himself a jerk. Number 104. After the film's release, Gunn and Safran are considering the possibility of TV spin-offs, particularly for the characters of Mr. Terrific and Daily Planet reporter Jimmy Olsen. Personally, I'd love to see where these spin-offs would go because I very much enjoyed both of the characters. Number 105. In addition to the spin-offs, DC Studios also intends to use Corin Sweat's Superman alongside DCU's Batman and Wonder Woman in an eventual Justice League film. Number 106. If you wanted more Superman solo films, well, we might just get more. Corin Sweat revealed to Vanity Fair that he signed on for a potential Superman sequel film. So, see y'all in 5 years, I guess? And number 107. The path to creating Superman wasn't easy, and James Gunn revealed that one of the biggest challenges he faced when adapting Superman was his own feelings and fears. Once again, he was struck by how daunting it was to bring a character so mainstream onto the big screen, and according to Gunn, quote, "Everyone has their concept of what Superman's supposed to be, whether it's trunks or no trunks, etc. All of that stuff is so important to people, so you're letting down people with every choice you make, and so I had to let go of that. Sometimes people don't even know what they want until they have it. So I understand where James Gunn is coming from with that sentiment." And with that, we are done with 107 facts of the first DCU film, Superman. I think it's a great start to the DCU films, and I can't wait to see what the DCU has in store. But what did you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the source doc in the description to find even more behind the scenes details, and if you're just curious about where these facts are from. Thanks for watching, and remember, Frederator loves you.